Sharing today about resilience, acceptance, and really the pattern of throwing away the ideals. Really, it's grief in the body, and sort of we could call it really what it is to be in the presence. Being present is to be in the presence. So first of all, I went to lumos transformos. We learned about, it's like light transformers, right? We learned about resilience, freeing up the triggered energy so we could use it. There's this bottom up versus top down approach where the body and the soma can interact, the somatic can interact with the cognitive. We have fight, flight, freeze. It's modeled by impactors, and we are able to calm down. It's called allyship. So tracking, we can ask, is it growing, shrinking? We're being curious, whatever else may help us witness instead of judging and changing. We can say no when it's hard, shaking, laughing. It feels like a tiny celebration when it's hard. And this is really is it associative? Is it elusive? Offspring is don't fight, flight. Instead, tend and befriend. It's like the upper social. It's the bandwidth can be too taxed. Versus the lower social. So that would be the higher social would be affiliating and caring for the more vulnerable, but the lower is fight or flight. Perceived offspring can be dependence. When we're in appeasement, we're looking at the social hierarchy from a helplessness. The upper fighter, flight, and low social is safety engagement versus my way. Submission, posture constriction, avert eye contact, averting any kind of direct contact. Constantly apologizing or affiliation, which means peacekeeping, smiling, physical contact, fawning, a heightened sense of evaluation, self-devaluation, behavior inhibition, code switching, and we could say developmental trauma or chronic trauma can lead to dissociative appeasement, just like how we show up every time we're with people. And sometimes we can introduce tremors, which is trembles, and actually it's a myofascial unwinding. It's completes the trauma movement that had started from a previous time where we stuck, and it's releasing. It's elderly people do it. Drinking does it, anxiety does it when it's cold, natural cold, fear, muscle fatigue. But it's also a therapeutic way to downregulate it. We can stay to where the comfort and the ease, and just have these little vibrations occur, and some are very commonly used, have the feet hip distance with a slight bend, and start doing ankle circles, knee circles. Another one is the butt in, hips front, and twist with arms, Another one is on the feet, rocking on the ball of the feet with the arms swinging. And another one is when you're laying down, you put your heels together and you butterfly your feet, clench the butt, raise the hips, and rock hips, bringing knees together. And this all can be a power tool, so it could be very activating and kick up the nervous system. So less is more. It does condition the nervous system for resilience, and it can be where the physically continuing effects could be, burned out with physical activity. The next really big part of this is called acceptance. People cannot mind read. We all have different love languages. Just because someone isn't exuberantly greeting me or extending compliments, it doesn't mean they don't like me. People can't make me feel more lovable. They don't know why I smother them, for example, when I feel vulnerable. This is when we learn from our trauma. They don't have the answer for why we don't feel wanted or cared for by them. People came first to be themselves. We can only be first ourselves and not anyone else. There's this idea with acceptance, if it works, don't fix it. So not always is better real. Fulfillment comes from being without, from letting